Hey guys, what's up? It's Jimmy, and today I'm scared. I'm terrified, because I'm talking about Sonic Adventure 2 today. That's today's episode. And to address the elephant in the room, people were not happy with my first video on the first game. They were not thrilled with my opinions, so today's gonna be fun. Sonic Adventure 2 is like a tragic love story with me because it's my favorite game, or one of my favorite games of all time. But I hate it. I grew up with it, I fell in love with it, and now it's time to be real about it. It's not that good. Every time I say something kind of negative about Sonic, especially here on YouTube, people do not react very well, and I feel like a person who just left the Amish community, being shunned by everyone you thought as your people. I used to be super obsessed with not just Sonic Adventure 2, but like all the Sonic games, even the really bad ones, but now I'm not. So it's a very interesting it's an interesting moment in your life when you realize all the things you loved were awful. So let's just have a great time today. Let's just talk like adults, talk about things, and maybe say the F word a few times. Let's go. The game starts off with Sonic in a helicopter after being arrested by the military. As they're taking him to prison, Sonic busts open the door, rips off a piece of the copter, and then jumps off of the wing, spinning to the ground while somehow not spewing vomit all over the city. Also, side note, every subtitle in this game is written in Comic Sans, and it does not look good. Once Sonic lands on the ground, without breaking his legs, the first level of the game begins, and it is some good shit. Everything about this level rocks because it feels so Sonic. You're running really fast the entire time, and you can swing on things and grind on rails and see adjectives on the screen after doing something the game thinks is cool. That's my favorite part. Also, Truck. He's here. Everyone loves him. It's such a great opening level, and then it's followed by a boss, which, I mean, is kind of boring, but then Shadow shows up, and he uses Chaos Control, and it's fucking cool. But then, the chub in my pants went away because it's time to play as Knuckles. And Knuckles is not fun. Knuckles' levels are treasure hunting levels just like in the first Sonic Adventure. And I didn't like them the first time around, and now they're worse. You're constantly floating around the same rooms over and over again looking for the pieces of the Master Emerald. And the locations of the pieces are randomized each time you play, which that part doesn't bother me too much, but the radar for finding them is broken, so it ruins everything. It doesn't tell you where an emerald is until it decides it's time for you to look for it. So you could be walking past one the entire time and not even notice until the game wants you to notice. So that's annoying and boring and stupid. After that, the game cuts to Tails flying over the ocean while Dr. Eggman is holding Amy at gunpoint on a boat down below. Tails sees this and flies down to rescue her, and then fights Eggman for like 13 seconds, and then his level starts. And if you haven't noticed, Tails is in a big mech. And no, it does not make sense. It's dumb. It is so dumb. All you do as Tails is walk around and shoot things with your obnoxiously loud laser pointer. And that's it. That's not fun. Hashtag no thanks. The next thing that happens in this epic quest is Amy finds Sonic's prison cell and offers to bust him out if Sonic agrees to marry her, which I want to commend Amy for how goddamn ruthless she is to quench her thirst. Like, holy shit, she's 12. She is committed, but she better back off because he's mine. Thankfully, the next two levels are both Sonic levels. Metal Harbor is first, and it is my favorite level in the entire game. This one introduces the new and improved light dash, and it is so cool. You just press a button and go whoosh. It's the bomb. Also, the music is incredible. It's just like, yes, you're breaking out of prison on a rocket ship. Yes, this is 2001. It's just the best. I love it. It's so good. Following that is the first fight between Sonic and Shadow, and it's, you know, it's not great. It's not bad, but it's nothing special. After the fight, though, they find out the island they're on is gonna blow up, so that's interesting, and then it's time for Green Forest, which is another fun Sonic level. I don't have as much to say about this one as I did with the last two. It's just kind of fun. That's it, really. To speed things up a bit, Pumpkin Hill, another Knuckles level, is next, and that name always confused me because they're really pumpkins on sticks, not hills, but
whatever. Then the moon explodes, so that's pretty fucking crazy, and Tails drives a car. That happens too. After that, everyone decides to go to Egypt, and Knuckles fights a ghost, whose tongue I really want to eat. Is that weird? It looks like rainbow sherbet, and that's delicious, so it's not weird. I've decided that it's not weird. And then they go to space, that's just a thing they do, and the best thing ever happens right here.
What the? Is everyone alright? We should be landing soon.
The hatch doors are open.
Don't sweat it, Knuckles. The only thing in the cargo bay are those
What do you
master
mean,
emeralds.
don't sweat it?
Right?
Land the
Knock
shuttle
it
and
off,
let me
Knuckles.
out.
We're gonna crash this thing if you keep that up. Oh no! Don't touch that lever! Whoa!
That's a real thing. Somebody's job was to make that not look awful, and they didn't do their job.
And then Sonic dies, but it's fine, because he's still alive, don't worry. Don't cry. And you also get to fight Shadow again, and this fight is much cooler because you're running the entire time. I'm not even exaggerating, it's a straight line. You just run on it. And it's awesome.
So that's the hero story, and it's... well, you get it. Now, in case you've been living under a rock or have managed to avoid the plague that is the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise for your entire life, lucky you, Sonic Adventure 2 has two different stories to play through. There's the hero story and the dark story, and each story has characters that are parallels of each other. So explaining how the characters in the dark story play would lead me to repeating myself, and I have things to get done today, like eat until I pass out, so we're just gonna bang it out. We're just gonna get going.
The dark story is basically same shit, different toilet, except for a few things. Eggman releases Shadow from whatever that thing is supposed to be, and we find out that he has some pent-up scene kid angst against the human race and wants to kill them all because a dead girl told him to. Except she didn't, and he just remembered everything wrong up until the last possible second and then turns good. So that's great. That's cool. I'm glad he remembered that key detail after an island full of people and the moon blew up. And then there's Rouge the Bat, who has really big boobs and it's very uncomfortable to look at. Why would they try to make a bat sexy? Have you ever seen a bat? They look like this. That's not sexy. This is sexy. Rouge also has a penis-shaped car. A penis-shaped car. Jesus, take the wheel. And then, surprise, there's also a final third story where all the characters put aside their differences to save the Earth because it's gonna get blown up by the Space Colony Ark, which is a science thing in outer space that they spend a good amount of the game on. And I probably should have brought that up before because it's pretty important, but I didn't. Sorry. The Ark is going to crash into the Earth because Eggman's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, programmed it to once it has all of the Chaos Emeralds as a power source. And we learn about that through a pre-recorded video of Gerald in prison explaining this final plan to wipe out humanity to the government. They're helping him film this. And why the government did nothing to stop this very specific plan that Gerald spelled out for them for 50 years blows my mind. This whole apocalyptic disaster could have been avoided 50 years ago. How come a bunch of animals have to be the ones to save the day? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird to them at all? And finally, Sonic and Shadow go super to stop a giant lizard by popping its zits, and then Shadow dies for some reason. They don't really say why, but this death is for real, but not really still because he comes back in Sonic Heroes, but that's a game for another day. I can't handle that right now.
And that's it. That's the game. It's trash, and goddamn, it is my favorite piece of trash on Earth. But why, Jimmy? Why is it your favorite piece of trash on Earth? Good fucking question.
I don't have an answer for you. I groaned so much while recording this game, it was horrible. And I expressed a bunch of my negative feelings towards it in this video. Everyone sucks but Sonic and Shadow. Especially Tails. Like, oh my god. He really sucks. But you know what? Even though 2/3 of this game make me dry heave at the thought of playing them, I still like Sonic Adventure 2.
It's terrible, but I'm terrible, so it's fine. We could be terrible together in our own little hole forever.
And before I go, since a bunch of people chapped my ass for not talking about the first game's Chow Garden in my video on the first Sonic Adventure, let's talk about this game's Chow Garden because this is the one most people, myself included, actually used. This is my oldest Chow. He's a unicorn, I think, and his name is Cutie. Spelled with a Y. And there you go, Sonic Adventure 2. That's my analysis. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I don't really know what it is anymore, but it's cool, we're good. Subscribe to me please, I need more of those, and hit the thumbs up button too. That helps a whole lot. And if you want to go watch more videos, check out my top 10 weird video games commercials video. One of those commercials on the list may be a Sonic one. Probably, because I'm showing it in the preview. Or you can watch my Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer one if that one floats your boat a little bit more. It's pretty cute. I really like that game a lot. Follow me on Twitter and everything else. I have Snapchat now, that's a thing. It's just Jimmy Whetzel, so you can follow me on there, I guess. And I'll see you guys later. Awesome. Bye.